Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood updates here. Remember to subscribe for the latest videos. Jessica Tarlov, the respected political commentator, strategist, and Fox News contributor, known for her razor-sharp intellect and measured insights, has suddenly found herself at the center of a media storm that has nothing to do with politics or televised debate, but instead revolves around a deeply personal moment, captured and shared with the world. A series of bikinis, photographs that have stunned her followers, colleagues and critics alike. The viral images, which show Tarlov confidently enjoying a vacation by the beach, have unleashed a whirlwind of reactions, discussions, and intense scrutiny online. Not simply because of how she looked, but because of what it represents in today's cultural and political climate. The pictures, described by some tabloids as leaving nothing to the imagination, showcase a side of Tarlov that many had never seen before. Bold, free, unfiltered, and unapologetically herself. In a media landscape where every image is judged, dissected, and politicized, Jessica Tarlov's decision, or perhaps moment of spontaneity, to enjoy her body, her life, and her moment in the sun, has become a flashpoint for debates far beyond the shoreline she stood on. But what really happened? Why has this moment become such a sensational headline? And what does it say about our culture, the expectations placed on women in politics, and the ever-blurring line between personal expression and public scrutiny? To truly understand the shockwaves this moment sent across social media and media outlets alike, one must consider who Jessica Tarlov is to the public. Known as the liberal voice on Fox News, The Five, and a recurring presence on multiple high-profile broadcasts, Jessica has long been admired, not just for her intellect, but for her poised and composed demeanor. Often wearing business suits, glasses, and maintaining an aura of professionalism, she has become a symbol of reasoned political discourse amidst a storm of opinion. Yet in these viral images, we see a stark departure from the reserved analyst we're accustomed to. Clad in a bold, form-fitting bikini that flaunts her natural figure, Tarlov appears relaxed, joyful, and most strikingly, liberated. Her shoulders, back, a soft smile on her face, and not a trace of insecurity in sight. The images quickly spread, first among fan pages, and later exploding across platforms like Twitter, now X, Reddit, Instagram, and conservative blogs, many of which reacted, not with admiration, but with scrutiny and judgment. Critics labeled the look unprofessional, suggesting it detracted from her role as a public political figure, while others leapt to her defense, applauding her confidence and challenging the outdated notion that intellect and sensuality cannot coexist. It's important to note that Jessica Tarlov has never branded herself as a celebrity in the traditional sense. Unlike influencers or entertainers, her fame comes from her mind, her arguments, and her consistent ability to hold her own in televised debates that often tilt toward the conservative. So when images surface that frame her not in an office or on a TV set, but in a swimsuit on vacation, the stark contrast creates a media dissonance that fuels even more curiosity. What's she doing there? Who took the pictures? Why now? And even more outrageously, why does it matter? Yet in a world where women's bodies are still seen as public property for commentary and judgment, the personal act of going to the beach becomes political. Some critics accused her of intentionally posting the images to gain attention, accusing her of hypocrisy, claiming that a woman who talks about policy shouldn't pose like that. Others claimed this was another attempt by liberal media figures to blur the lines between professionalism and self-promotion. But others, far more numerous, saw something empowering, something unshackled and inspiring. They pointed out that Tarlov, at 41 and a mother, was simply enjoying her body and her vacation, and that there's nothing shameful, scandalous, or career-threatening about a woman taking pride in herself outside the confines of a news studio. Supporters were quick to flood the internet with praise. "She looks amazing," one fan tweeted. "Why shouldn't she be allowed to feel beautiful and free?" Others noted that male pundits are rarely criticized for how they look or what they wear in their personal lives. When men post beach pictures, they're seen as relaxed or relatable. When women do it, especially women in political or intellectual roles, they're accused of undermining their credibility. This double standard is at the core of the controversy. What makes a woman like Jessica Tarlov so unique is that she is unapologetically complex. She can hold her ground in a policy, debate, and also wear a swimsuit without apology. And yet, in 2025, society still seems unsure how to handle that. The images became more than just pictures. They became a cultural conversation. Media figures from both sides weighed in. Some liberal commentators applauded Tarlov's courage to live authentically. Conservative voices accused her of leveraging sexuality for clout. Within Fox News, sources suggest the images raised eyebrows among more traditional executives. Though no official statement was made, Tarlov herself has not issued a direct response to the viral images, maintaining her professional silence, perhaps wisely so. But close friends and former colleagues have come to her defense. Jessica has always been true to herself. One insider said, "She's not playing a game. She's not doing this for PR. She was on vacation, enjoying a rare moment of peace, and people decided to make a circus of it." Another colleague noted, "This says more about how we treat smart women in the media than it does about Jessica." Behind the scenes, sources say Tarlov was initially stunned by the backlash, but not devastated. Those who know her well describe her as tough, composed, and incredibly aware of the pressures that come with her platform. If anything, they say, this moment has only solidified her resolve to continue being both brilliant and human. The public's obsession with the image also exposes our culture's hunger for contradiction. We love to see the unexpected, especially when it comes from women who don't fit the celebrity mold. A woman known for her mind wearing a bikini, viral content, a mother daring to express confidence in her appearance. Headlines. It reveals how boxed in our expectations are for women in power. Jessica Tarlov's bikini moment has become more than just a set of pictures. It has become a lightning rod for discussions around feminism, body politics, public identity, and the harsh glare of the digital spotlight. It has reminded us that in today's world, no moment is too small to be spun into a narrative, no image too private to become a battleground. And yet, in the middle of it all, Jessica Tarlov remains unshaken. She continues to appear on television, to speak her mind, to debate with dignity and insight, showing the world that no viral photo can define her worth or silence her voice. This story also touches on something deeper: how society often denies women the right to be multidimensional. If you're smart, you shouldn't be sexy. If you're a mother, you shouldn't be sensual. If you're on television discussing war, inflation, or social justice, you shouldn't also be at the beach in a bikini. But Jessica Tarlov, knowingly or not, has challenged that binary, embodying a more modern and liberating version of womanhood. One where being intelligent doesn't mean being invisible, and being confident doesn't mean being careless. In the end, the message she sends is clear. Even if unspoken, I am allowed to be all of it. And that message, whether shouted or whispered, is revolutionary in its own quiet way. For every person who judged her, there are countless others who saw themselves in her. Women who have been told they're too much, too bold, too opinionated, too visible. And for those people, Jessica Tarlov has become more than a political pundit. She's become a symbol of freedom, one bikini photo at a time. So as the internet continues to buzz, let us remember that behind every headline is a human being. Jessica Tarlov didn't ask to become the center of controversy, but she has. And in doing so, she has sparked a much-needed conversation about respect, identity, and the right to personal joy. Whether you admire her politics or not, whether you agree with the commentary or not, one thing is undeniable. Jessica Tarlov is rewriting the rules in real time. And we, watching from the sidelines, should take note. Because if being brilliant, bold, and bikini-clad is a crime, then we're long overdue for a revolution in how we define dignity and power in the public eye.